Indeed, the greatest investment a young person can make is in their own mind and experiences. My name is Billy Dumo and this is Agroriches. I have a young lady with me, a pretty one I must say, who defines this saying to the greatest extent. We're going to have a one-on-one conversation with her to find out how she has been able to achieve those great heights that we are going to be talking about today. And I'm surely going to introduce her to you, but before I do that, stick and stay, we'll be right back. You're welcome back. This is still Agroriches TV, and my guest today is Danchen Xu, a Chinese, and she is a research student and has interest in urban conflict resolution and politics of order making in developing states with high human mobility. She has a lot on her list. I wouldn't want to do most of the introduction, so I'm going to leave it to her to introduce herself to us so we move straight to the point. Danchen, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Believe. So hi everyone, my name is Danchen. As Believe mentioned, I'm currently a research student. I'm pursuing a PhD at University of Oxford, and currently I'm doing my research in Accra, Ghana. I have a background in civic engagement, public administration, and public health, but currently I'm very interested in kind of just learn from the great city of Accra and how the urbanization process is managed with human mobility. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, so your educational journey is quite impressive. You have a lot of courses you offer in international relations and conflict resolution. We have particular interest in the conflict resolution and the international and development. Why this selection?
Yeah, so that's actually a really great question, and I would like to get into my background a little bit. So where I'm from in China, it's actually called the food basket of China. It's a huge agricultural province. So both of my parents, they actually come from the rural area, and they were able to get into college and move to the urban space. When I was growing up, I witnessed lots of conflict between Han Chinese and Chinese who believe in Islamic. So within the same urban space and the rapid urbanization process, you see more and more people moving into the city from the rural area, like my parents, but also as the urban population grow, you see some conflicts happening here and there. So I guess personally, I'm also a conflict revert person, so I don't like conflict. So I was just really interested in how to bring people together across culture, across religious belief, across different backgrounds, and when the country itself is developing so rapidly. So that's kind of what the experience that brought me into the field of conflict resolution. And through that, I got to see that, thank you, yeah, lots of countries share that experience, like when I grew up. So I just kind of want to learn from other countries' experience and make more voices heard and learn from more people, especially those marginalized voices. Yeah.
That's so inspiring. Now, away from conflict resolution, what do you perceive about agriculture? What is your perception when the agri sector is concerned?
I definitely think, as I mentioned, I'm from a huge agricultural province in China. So that experience taught me the importance of our farmers, of people that work in the field day to day, and their role in a country's development. And I realized that in some cases they're not engaged enough, and in some cases they don't see their own role in the country's development because they're so far from the urban space. So I guess and after I arrived in Accra, I also learned that lots of people moved from the northern area into Accra because they couldn't see the role of agriculture in the nation's development. So I think there are lots of lessons to be learned, lots of good practice should be shared. And I definitely think we should pay more attention into the role of agriculture in the nation's development. And if we don't do that, what's the impact of the urban management and kind of the pressure and the stress that they left to the urban municipal government? Yeah.
Wow, so just as she said, she's a Chinese, and then she's been able to perceive the agri sector to be a very lucrative one. So she's motivating you out there to venture into the agri sector as well, and then see the impact that it has to offer to all of us. You speak English, very good English. I learned to speak Cantonese, Swahili, Mandarin, French, and the list goes on and on. What inspires you to speak all these languages? An individual.
Okay, that definitely a little bit of that is a lie. I was born speaking Mandarin, Chinese, and then gradually, because I wanted to learn about all different areas in China, and Cantonese was definitely one of the interesting local dialect that people speak with a big population. So I kind of self-taught Cantonese through watching TV shows, listening to music, and then as I progressed my study, I learned that French is also a big language that's spoken in both Europe and Africa. So I was really interested in that. But after I learned French, I realized there are also other languages like Swahili that's spoken and will be useful. But then I feel like for language, it's something that you just have to practice and learn from people from that culture to have that proficiency. So I definitely need to practice more in terms of my Swahili and French. Now that I'm in Accra, as I'm talking to people from here and as I'm doing some interviews for my research project for my PhD, I definitely realized I need to learn more Twi, and my Twi is very, very minimum, so I'm excited to learn more. Yeah.
I feel so underdeveloped. You speak all these languages, a young lady like you, so beautiful. I mean, I'm going to teach you the tree if you want to learn it. I'll be willing to. All right, now let's get to the root of all your achievement, your educational background and everything. What has been your inspiration over the years? What inspires you to keep you going, to keep learning all these languages, the conflict resolution and everything? What is your general inspiration?
Yeah, I think the simple way to answer that is my mom. She's such an open-minded but hardworking woman. So I'm always inspired by her to just give your best effort whenever you can, but also just do things that can be of, I guess, contribute to your, not just the greater society, but people around you. So I love to make new acquaintances and try to learn from everyone. And you mentioned you teach me every, so I'll hold you accountable to that. So yeah, I guess I just want to be someone like my mom, to keep working hard, and to make contribution wherever I can.
What's her name?
Ming Feng. Her name is Ming Feng. So I hope one day she can see this. Yeah. So I definitely want to just aspire to be better, and every day I want to be a better self. Yeah.
So the mom of Danchen, you've done really well, and we are really inspired by her level of thinking, her mind and all that. And she owes her achievements to you. You're a very good inspiration. We say shout outs to you if you are watching this. Now, we want to know, you're in Ghana. What brought you to Ghana? How long have you been in Ghana?
So actually, this is a very interesting story. So when I started doing research and realized I have a passion for researching, COVID-19 hit. So I always wanted to visit Ghana for my research, but I never could. So I've been looking at the map of Accra and Ghana for 3 years, and now I finally arrived. This is actually my second week in Accra. Yeah, and it's a surreal experience to see how things can be so different from textbooks and research articles and maps from real life. So this is such a great city. Yeah, and I'm it's just trying to immerse myself in it. It's a very, very surreal but also rewarding and humbling experience. So currently I'm researching how urban informal settlements, where lots of actually people moving from the north and agricultural areas kind of reestablish themselves in the urban space, and how do they find a sense of belonging in the greater Accra region and the I think it's called Accra metropolitan area. There are lots of stories, I think, that are not told, and I think there are lots of lessons to be learned. So I'm just here to learn from people. Yeah.
Have you eaten any of our local dishes so far?
Sorry?
Have you eaten any of our local dishes so far? The 2 weeks time.
So actually, as I mentioned, yes, I have. And I think the first dishes that I got since I got here was tapila fish. And it was fish. the grilled fish with the green chili sauce. So I think personally I prefer fufu over banku. I haven't found the right sauce for banku yet, so I hope I can find that. Yeah. Oh, maybe you can show me around. Yes, yes. But also because where I go to school, it has a diverse student body, so I have lots of Ghanaian friends before I came here. And while we were back in the UK, they would take me to different Ghanaian restaurants. So I already tried jollof rice. Yeah, and
What do you think about it?
I think I like them when they're made with jasmine rice. It kind of remind me of home, but sometimes people make it with long grain rice. I like it too, but I prefer jasmine rice better. Yeah, but I was surprised to see lots of the culinary similarity between where I come from and here. So I definitely been spoiled by the food culture here. Yeah.
All right. So wrapping up, we want to be inspired by your achievements and everything. We want to hear final words to my viewers. They would want to pick one or two advice from you. What would be your last words to them, your advice to them from the experience you've achieved so far?
To be honest, I always get nervous when I have to talk about things like this because I feel like I'm still a student of life and trying to learn. But I definitely think one thing that helped me is to build mentorship wherever I can because the world is so big, and as I mentioned, I love to learn from different cultures and going around places. And I think one thing that I learned is that we can learn a lot from everyone. And once we build that rapport with people, always keep that contact with you, and they will help you go a long way, and also help people wherever you meet, however you can. And I think that camaraderie is something that's missing in the world currently, especially under the impact of COVID-19 and to the impact of economic regression. I just hope that we can find some conflict in our own life and try to resolve that and move forward together. Yeah, so I definitely think camaraderie and mentorship is important. Yeah.
Great. So mentorship is important. Don't leave as an island. Or try to seek help from people and help people as well. This is the advice of Danchen Xu as well. So Danchen, thank you very much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Believe Dumo, and this has been Agroriches TV, an educative session, I must say, and I believe you were inspired. Do you want to follow us? They can stay on all our social media platforms. We have a lot in store for you. Until then, it's a bye-bye.